Up it comes, scoop by scoop tonight. Tons of coal that's been sitting right on the bottom of the Ohio River across from downtown Louisville. There's now movement in the recovery of those barges that sunk around Christmas time. Dennis Ting has been following the start of this long process from the river today. Dennis?
Well, there's still no timeline as to when the barges will all be removed from the river. The Army Corps of Engineers says the crews are trying to get it done as quickly as possible while making sure the crew and everyone else is safe in doing so. It's a site that brings many people to the banks of the Ohio River.
It actually brings a lot of people out there. They're down here every day keeping up with it. For me, it's just something to do to get out of the house, I guess.
For 2 weeks, several coal barges have been stuck on the Ohio River near the Falls of the Ohio after they broke loose from a towing vessel when it crashed into the 2nd Street Bridge on Christmas Day. Wednesday morning, work finally began to recover the barges, several of which have already sunk.
Nothing's been done, and then yesterday we seen the cranes down by the river, so we're kind of excited to actually see them finally start working on it.
You can see how big this equipment is and how much equipment is out there right now. It takes a long time for that to transit from where it did, which I think some of it came from Memphis. I think some from farther away than that as well.
Even though they have a meticulous plan in place, there are some things that could affect this operation that are outside the crew's control, things like the river flow and the weather. And that means this project could take several weeks to complete.
We're going to have to look at it day by day and be cautious as far as what our operations are going to be for that day.
The plan is for the salvage crews to first remove the coal from the barges, which could take several days.
Once they get the coal unloaded, they will begin to lift any sunken barges. The 2 barges that are still afloat, they plan to just pull off of the dam.
At this time, the Army Corps of Engineers says there is no plan to remove the coal that has sunk into the river. The crews know they could face a long project, especially if the river doesn't cooperate, but they're focused on getting the job done right.
We want to make sure that everybody here operates safely and that nobody gets injured, and we have a safe operation.
And some of the people who were watching the work told me they weren't sure whether the government shutdown would affect the operation. But we asked the Coast Guard, and they say that all active duty members of the Coast Guard are not furloughed as they're needed for essential operations like this salvage project. Dennis?